This video is going to be different than most of my videos. I'm going to focus on those of you, mostly probably younger listeners, who have yet to make your first sale online. So you've been watching a million YouTubers and you've been studying, reading all the cool books. You're going to crush it like Gary Vee. Does he even use that anymore? I don't even know if he uses that anymore. And yet you're still broke. And everybody says, God, what a dork you are. You've never made even a penny yet. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. You're not going to like it at first, but then you're going to love it once you see the results in the real world. When you need to make money and you need to make your first sale, what do you do? Step number one. Here's the first thing you do. Free or stupid, dumb, cheap. This is the first thing you're going to do. It's very hard to even give something away for nothing. If you have a product to give people even for free, the amount of psychology and effort and abilities to give something away for free, it's hard to overstate just how difficult that is, because free is never free. Free requires two components besides money. They have to put the time in, so whatever you give them for free, they have to put the time in to use it and get a benefit from it that they want, which who knows if they want it or not. And that's the first thing. But the second thing is the energetic demand. Okay, I got to stop. I got to look at this free thing. I got to determine if it's for me or not. And then if it is for me, how I'm going to use it. Is it going to make sense to use it? And by the way, this is something every other guru seems to forget when they teach you this. They think it's only positive move forward. If I give you a piece of advice, you either stay the same or get better. But the worst advice is the wrong advice, where you listen to something and you become actively worse as a result. So even if the thing is free that you sell, there's a real risk that somebody could take the free thing and be harmed by it, which is why a lot of people ignore all products, free, paid, or otherwise. So it's incredibly difficult just to give something away for free. In fact, I would argue it's easier to sell something, because free is compared to every other thing out there that's also free. So relative comparison makes it very difficult. So when I started in this business in November of 2007 and I made my first sale ever online, it was with a $4 ebook. Now it's still, you don't see these very often these days. I mean, you see this on Kindle and such, but when you take it off of Amazon, take it out of the store and you put it on your own website, people generally are used to paying $10, $15, $20 or a lot more for a product that I'm now offering for $4. And the way that I like to sell when you're first starting off is this. This is the pitch that I originally used to sell this product. I said, I have something that I think will be the $4 best you've ever spent in your life on. And I think you'll realize it's the $4 best bucks you've ever spent within the first 10 minutes of going through this. And if it's not the $4 best bucks you've ever spent in your life, contact me and I will give you your $4 back to you. And that's a great pitch. People think you got to do all this fancy voodoo marketing ninja sell stuff in order to sell something. But if the price is very low, then that's your biggest benefit. And so I want you to either do it for free or cheap. Now, which one should you do? I think you should do free service. And I'll tell you why. But I'm telling you, free service is where it's at. So this is where you do something for somebody else without them paying you. Because what you get in lieu of money is you get a couple things. The first thing you get is experience in the real world. The more I learn in this business, the more I learn that I don't know that much. When I was young and dumb, I thought I knew everything. There's a Mark Twain joke that says, when I was 14, I thought my dad was an idiot. And then I was surprised at how much he learned when I became 21 years old, right? So like, we're Dunning-Kruger effect. The less we know, the more confident we are in our conclusions. And so you'll read books and you'll study people and you think you have the answer. You don't know the million and one ways something can go wrong that has nothing to do with the product, has nothing to do with the messaging, the marketing, the offer, right? It could be because the guy woke up that day, had a midlife crisis, decided to join a monastery, and that thing that you worked on that he was going to pay you for no longer exists. It has nothing to do with your marketing. There's a million ways it could go wrong. So you want to get that experience, because that experience allows you to continually calibrate to the opportunities that are in front of you. So you make less dumb decisions, and by a default, you eventually make good decisions. So you get experience in the real world in a way that you can't do any other way. The second thing that you get besides experience is you get a connection. I want you to imagine if you became friends with a billionaire and you could just hang out with him all day. I think by accident you would become a millionaire in a short order, just by the overlapping deal flow, the excess that he throws away, the connection, the doors that he can open for you that you couldn't open on your own. I see a lot of people that aren't very good at what they do make really good money. And it's not because they're good at it, it's because they're good at having people that will give them the opportunity. And so how do you get connection? Well, you do stuff for other people. 9 out of 10 times, and I live in LA, next to Hollywood, they will use you, they will abuse you, they will take it all and give you nothing in return. And that's okay, because 1 out of 10 times will pay for the rest. It will open up all the other doors. So you get connection, which is more valuable for currency than competence. Connection over competence. I went the other way. I focused too much on competence. And I used to get so pissed off because I wouldn't be able to keynote marketing events. I'd be like the first guy on day one when nobody's even in the room. And some idiot who didn't know what he was doing half as good as me would be keynoting it, getting all the adoration, getting all the money and everything. I used to get pissed off. I said, why is it? My stuff's so much better than his. And it is. But he was so much nicer to the people that were running the events than I was. So he sucked at what he did. He was okay. He wasn't the worst. He was average, but he was really good at fostering connections. I spent all the time on competence, and then it took me 10 years as long. Now I'm happy because I got there, but some people who, get rich or die trying, they die trying. And I don't want you to die trying. I want you to get rich. So that's the second thing. But the third thing you get is you get strategic byproducts. So whenever I coach clients in this model, and I still use it to this day. You don't have to be your first sale. I make this conditional. I will do this free thing for you, but instead of you paying money, here's what I want in return. And then that's your ask. The ask is almost always, if this is successful beyond your expectations, and if you are tickled pink and over the moon delighted in what I do, then and only then will you give me a testimonial and make an introduction to 3 other people. So some version of that, right? Basically, the condition is if I don't blow you out of the water with the value, if I don't make this the most incredible thing that you've ever experienced when it comes to X, then don't do anything for me. However, if I give you this huge win for free, all I ask in return is if somebody else needs help with it, you introduce me. You can get more specific, introduce me to 3 people, introduce me to 1 other people, or actually my favorite thing is you allow me to document the results and use it in my marketing. Because here's the cadence. Here's an easy way. It's amazing how quickly this rolls out. This is how a snowball turns into an avalanche, right? So you do something for free, you document the results, and then you take those results and you say, 3 more at discount. So the hardest thing for a beginner to do when it comes to making money is supply and demand, basic economics. You have very little supply and you have no demand. Duh, no wonder why you're not making any money. Of course that makes sense, right? So guess who has the most demand and the least supply, though, is the people at the top. Demand is the single greatest thing. The more demand you have something and the more limited a supply, the more valuable it becomes. And so when you're at the beginning, you have no demand. So here's how you create demand. The first one is free. So the demand there is a 1 of 1, right? I'm going to do this for 1 person. I've helped clients get started in markets where they email 25, 30 people that are kind of the same, and they say, basically, I have this really good idea. I'm willing to do it for free, but only for 1 of you. I've emailed 25 of you. Which one wants it for free? And they can already create a frenzy, even though they're free and even though they're new, right? But if you get 1, that's fine. You document the results, and then you say something along the following. I plan on selling this for X, whatever the number is. However, because I'm still new, you use new as an advantage, and I'm eager to get even more results, I'm willing to do it for 3 more people at a discount. So your demand is sky high. It's a conditional discount again, and you still document the results. Now here's what's cool about this. If you do this for free and you don't get any results, good. You shouldn't get paid if you can't produce results. People are like, I don't know why people won't pay me. And I'm like, well, what do you do for them? They're like, I don't know yet. Well, that's why they don't pay you. So get the results. And if you can't get the results, you got to go back to free. If it took you 8 times for free before you got 1 good result, that's a great trade-off because you only need 1 result. And now you know you can do it. So can you do it again? I bet you can. So do it again. 1 time you might have got lucky. This is how the market views this. The market says 1 time is luck. I'm going to write this down for you. This is really important. The first time you're lucky. The second time it's a coincidence. And the third time is a pattern. This is how markets think. So this is why we got to do it in a 3-step process. The first time you get a result, you control supply and demand, even though you're brand new, you use new as an advantage. You do it 3 more times, and then you get a result. So now it's a coincidence, right? This is why you got to do it 1 more time. So you get these 3 results, you document it even more, so another documentation over here, and then you say, I'm willing to do it one more time at a discount for 5 more people. It could be the same discount, it could be a lesser discount. And then once you get their results, here's what's cool. There are not only now all of these proof elements you've accumulated along the way. Not only have you, along the way, by helping other people out, fostered connections with this model. Connections open doors, and behind those doors are money. So the easiest way to make money is have connections that can open doors where there's money behind those doors. The second thing is you got your proof. Here's the third thing, though. I think this is the most important part out of all of this. What you have figured out along the way through experience is you have a refined process, or you can refine the process at this time. Because as you work through these clients, you're going to notice some things. You're going to notice, oh, they have difficulty with this, and I thought it was going to be easy. So you're going to refine your process to minimize that difficulty over there. Or you're going to say, I thought they would value Y, but they didn't really care about Y. They valued X. So I'm going to emphasize more X and less of Y. And so you have the best insights on what's going to create the value for your offer. Not what you think it is, and it's never what you think it is. In a million years of doing this, if I could live so long, I know I'm never right. Not really, I'm directionally correct, but I'm not precisely correct. But I don't have to be. I just have to recognize it. When the market gets really excited about this, I do more of it. When they get less interested in this, I do less of it. I don't know which one they're going to respond to. So I put them in front of them and then I make the adjustments. There's a little model here. It's called attempt, observe, adjust. And I live by this. Attempt, observe, adjust. I attempt something and I see what happens. So I attempt it, I observe it, and then I adjust. And then guess what I do? I repeat it over again. So what this will then allow you to do once you have the process refined, then you can go in mass. This is where you can now mass market it. It took a little bit more up front to get the result. You made your first sale, by the way. You did one for free, and then you parlayed that to do 2 or 3 or 4, or however many you want to limit it, at a massively reduced rate, by the way. Huge discount, but you got paid nonetheless. Now think about this. I want you to think of what this will do to you as an identity. You go from somebody who's nobody's ever paid you money, so somebody that's paid you some money. I don't care if it's a penny. You will have an identity shift. Now people pay me money. When you're somebody who becomes someone who people pay money to, you behave and act differently with more confidence. And that's one of the powerful things about this. So people have paid you money even if it's a significant discount, and even if it's technically not worth it for the effort you put in yet. But you also got the proof. You also got the insights of what makes something really valuable that nobody else gets any other way unless they see how the dog food is made. So now you know how it's made, you know how to make the adjustments, so you suffer for a little bit, maybe 2 to 6 months, and then you'll have an insight that captures the market right away. And I can't tell you how many times I see people come out of obscurity. 2 to 6 months of this process, then they have the thing that the market wants, and if the market really truly wants it, and you have the proof, this is how people come out of nowhere and they make 100,000, $250,000, $1 million or more in the next 6 months. They planted the trees the first 6 months, they harvested the next 6 months, and then by year 2, they're now in demand. And now they have all of this, and they have the experience, and they don't have to get fancy anymore. And this is what I want for you. So if you need to make your first sale, you got to put the ego aside, you got to humble yourself, you got to do it for free under miserable conditions, but you just can't be dumb about it. You have to kind of put conditions around them so you can move in the direction of being successful. If you do that, and if you're sincere with it, I promise you, you'll see success faster with this roundabout way than with the normal straight line approach. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.